Welcome, everybody, to episode 59 of Perpetual Backlog Podcast, your gaming podcast where we just sit around, talk about video games, and not play them for some reason. Like usual, I am your host, Aqua, the guy that plays way too many video games. And joining me are our fabulous co-hosts, our Capybara Dalit.
Hey, I'm fabulous now. Wonderful.
And our pizza glutton, Leak.
You're currently Pepsi.
You're currently drinking Pepsi?
Yeah.
Pepsi's bad for you. I haven't had Pepsi in forever. I haven't had soda in forever. Yeah, so this week we're going to talk about Game Awards. Because the nominations came out, and this episode was going to be about Babylon's Fall, but we're recording on a Tuesday, and since the Game Awards nominations came out, we're gonna swap it over to this because this is a lot more interesting. Because let me tell you what, I played the Babylon's Fall beta yesterday.
Okay, how was it?
Never in my life did I ever think a game was made by the F team of a studio than I have ever felt playing this beta.
Did I not warn you that this was going to happen?
I don't believe Platinum worked on this game. I don't believe it whatsoever.
Once again, if Platinum is not working on a game they want to work on, it's going to be reflected in the outcome. If they are given too little money or too little motivation, you will know it when you're playing the game. It's why, as decorated as Platinum is as the go-to for action RPGs, well, not action RPGs, just action and character action games, they have so many duds on their resume.
This game, as somebody on my Twitter stated, is unsalvageable. They need to quit. They just need to quit. This game will not be good. This game has all the makings of a game that they removed the online service in 6 months. It's that bad.
Oof.
So, one, there's not even a tutorial in this game. This game doesn't even tell you how to play. This game just throws you into the hub. It goes, here, play with your friends. Which, it's okay, I guess. It leaves you to learn how to play the game yourself, but this game teaches you nothing. All right, doesn't say you want to equip like this on your fucking buttons. You want to do this? No, or you should go to the board over here to do these quests. No, it gives you nothing. Hell, the hub doesn't even have a map. Doesn't even have a mini map. So I went running around the hub trying to figure out where the fuck to go for like the first 5 minutes.
Is this something you think will be changed before release, though?
Oh god, yeah, most likely. But
okay.
but it's a beta, so it should tell you what this is your first impression of a video game. It should give you some sort of. Actually, I would be more okay in the main game that it not telling you what to do than I would in a beta. All right. Because a beta is here.
Pretty sure I definitely don't agree with that.
I'm
pretty sure the beta they just threw you and said press buttons, mate. We're just here to figure out if our servers are going to explode or not.
So I only say that because I think of like Dark Souls stuff like that where it doesn't tell you how to play. Dark Souls just throws you into it.
Sure.
But
actually, that's also technically not true, but I'll allow it.
I mean, it kind of doesn't tell you how to play.
The developers absolutely leave tutorials on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
You can choose not to engage with them.
Yeah, all right. They just throw you into the hub. I went looking around for the quest board, found the quest board, and was like, okay, I'm gonna look for people to play with, all right? So this game has this beta has a thing where it has a specific time limit when you're looking for people to join you or whatever. And if you reach that time limit, it'll just throw you into the match by yourself. All right. Not only does it do that, but even if you have people in your party, it'll also still just throw you into a match, and throw you into the mission with the people that you're with. This is even before you. There's like a time limit on the party looking for a mission. All right. This is even before you ready up. Also, if one person readies up, you pretty much automatically start the countdown to go into the mission. So it's not like the party leader readies up, like in Monster Hunter, where the party leader needs to ready up first before everybody can go in. It's one person readies up, and that's the countdown for everybody.
Okay, so this is all stuff that they definitely need to hear feedback on.
Yeah, and I'll do that in the survey. Like, I only played a mission like twice. If after this, if I have enough time, because it ends at like 2:59 a.m. my time, I might go in and play like a mission or two. But yeah, so I ended up doing the mission, the first mission you can do by myself. All right, this game is 100% geared towards playing with people. You can do it solo. Like, I beat the mission solo. All right.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
But it took forever. Enemies have a ridiculous amount of HP. They don't stagger either. So, when you're attacking, you're just going to get attacked. You have a thing called a spirit. You have a spirit bar, which is tied to your L2, your R2, and your dash your dash button. All right. So if you use your L2 and R2 too much, you don't have dash. But if you dash too much, you don't have your L2, R2.
So it's a stamina system.
Yeah. It's a platinum game, so obviously if you dodge at the right time, you get a slight slowdown mechanic, because every platinum fucking game has it.
Most character action games have that. Yeah. Most.
No, not most character action games. Platinum, literally, it's just platinum mostly that has it.
Okay.
Yeah. Could you name a character action game that has it?
The one that I was literally just playing, Honkai Impact 3rd, yeah.
That doesn't count.
No? Okay.
That's a mobile game. It's a mobile game.
Is it also a character action game?
I mean, I guess, yeah, but then in the same aspect, by the same developer, Genshin Impact doesn't have that either. Genshin Impact doesn't have dodge. Like, maybe Honkai Impact did. Why actually? You know what? We'll get on the Honkai Impact later.
I'd rather we didn't. I don't have very many good things to say about it.
So you have the ability to equip weapons to your square button, your triangle button, your L2, and your R2. Your L2 and R2 take spirit gauge or whatever, so you have to choose what weapons you want to have to do those types of powers. From what I've saw, there were maybe like 4 or 5 different types of weapons. There's a sword, there's hammers, there's shields, and there's a bow and arrow. I didn't see if there was any other types of weapons. Because, like I said, I played for maybe an hour, and I was like, I can't do it anymore. Each button other than the L2 and R2 do something different. Depending on what you have equipped. L2 and R2 will always be a special attack with that specific weapon. But square and triangle will be different. Square and triangle are basically your heavy attack and your light attack buttons, but they're different weapons. So if you equip a shield to your square, it's only used to block. You can't do anything else with it. It's just your block button.
Okay.
If you I didn't equip it to triangle, but apparently the shield does something different on the triangle button. I'm assuming it's like maybe a heavy block, I'm gonna assume, but maybe not. A sword on both square and triangle are pretty much your basic action combat attacks. Like, obviously, it's a light sword attack and then a heavy sword attack. I had a hammer equipped to my triangle, which it's literally just one animation, which is just a slam down move. Like, there's no variation to it. Every time you press triangle and you have a hammer on it, it's literally just a slam down move, unless you hold it and then it's a charge up attack. Circle does absolutely nothing in the beta. And assuming from what I've read, it's possibility that it's tied to stances, and which they had to remove stances from the beta because there was something wrong with them. So you don't even get to do stances in this game, and who knows what even stances do. X is to jump. You can jump and dash. Because you'll need to do that to get over some spike terrain to get stuff. It follows the basic thing that a looter, I guess a looter shooter, but like a looter-esque type game follows. You open up a chest and you get a bunch of like stuff that you identify at the end of the thing, and they're all color-coded between like, normal, common, rare, legendary, with all the orange, yellow, and orange, purple, and like green and blue. There's rocks you can break open that give you, I forget what it gives you. It gives you some type of like points or whatever, but they're essentially kind of like the same as like when you break open stuff in DMC, and you get like orbs.
Sure.
The main problem was enemies have way too much of a health pool. Like, it's ridiculous how much of a health pool that they have, especially when doing it solo. You get 5 potions you can use per mission, and you get 5 self raises you can do per mission. I don't know how that's geared around multiple players, because I'd never had anybody die during the multiplayer that I did. So I don't know if that's 5 raises per person, or that's 5 raises all around in the whole group. I'm assuming it's the latter. The combat just feels very grounded and stunted. It doesn't feel like you do much damage at all, especially with enemies' health pools being so high. If Platinum's name wasn't on it, I wouldn't have thought this was a Platinum game. It also looks like a high-scale PS3 game. Like, its visuals are not very good at all.
Yeah, that's something I took away from the last time we saw any information on this. The visuals looked really weird, and I couldn't tell if it was just the design they were going for, or if they were just bad. So you're saying that they're just not very good.
They're not very good. They look about as good as a PS3 game, like as a really good PS3 game. That's about as like, this doesn't even look PS4 quality.
Oh boy.
There was one thing that looked cool, and that's when you like flip the switch in the first mission, and a tower like raised up to where you're at, so you could like go into the tower. That looked really cool, but that was like literally the only cool thing that I saw in the game. Character customization, like the character creator, is pretty bland, especially with the barely high res character models in general. Armor looks pretty whack, but I mean, I guess it's trying to emulate what like Babylon, like the Age of Babylon. So it's all looking like those very, very, very old looking armor sets. I was excited to try out this beta, and then it was immediately disappointing. And my expectations for this game wasn't even very high. I was just like, this might be okay, all right, but it's not. This is the third Square Enix live service game that they've published now, and Square Enix needs to stop. Because all 3 of them have been shit. I don't know why they're trying to get a live service game out when they have the best live service game out there, and that's 14. They just need to stop. have publish developers to make single player action games, not these live service action games, because they are all bad.
I'm interested with the thought process behind it. I wonder if it's just was never going to succeed, or if this is just mishandled. Because frankly, an Avengers game shouldn't be a failure.
No, it shouldn't have been. It should not have been a failure, but it was. And I'm assuming that is definitely mismanagement. Outriders had a distinct possibility of being okay. But that game needed maybe 6 more months in the oven.
And a
to
bit
get
more content at the end of the game.
Yeah, well, it definitely needed way more polish. And they kind of fell. Now, I know Outriders is they have got some stuff planned for next year. They came out with like a dev thing earlier today, talking about how, like, they haven't said anything for a couple of months, that they're working hard on like making the game the way that the game really needs to be. So maybe when the new Outriders content comes out next year, maybe I'll attempt to try it again. I know there was a Square Enix rep that I follow that was part of like the rep for Outriders, and he implored everybody to try the game again later on down the line. So
I own it, so I mean,
yeah, same. So I will definitely do that. But no, Babylon's Fall.
Fell far.
Yeah. Babylon's Fall did exactly what it did. It fell, and much like how Babylon actually fell, this one fell hard.
Well, the tower. Anyways, you started us off, so let's continue. What else did you manage this week?
On the better side of games that I played this week, I did the mistake of playing Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 of Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. That game is too good. That game is a fucking masterpiece.
Still gonna wait to play through everything to get to it?
No. I said fuck that. As soon as I got through Chapter 3, as soon as I got through Chapter 3, I was like, I can't do it anymore. All right, I will get through Yakuza 0 in the time that I'm getting through Yakuza 7. But Kiwami 1 all the way to 6, probably gonna be on the back burner for a little bit. Dude,
Cool.
whoever
standalone, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. It takes place I think a few years after Yakuza 6.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of callbacks to it. So that's
Yeah.
the whole reason to play the other Yakuza games, is that there's a lot of references and callbacks to it.
Yeah.
To them. But you can get through it without having that. There's nothing in the story that, like, you'll come across it and you'll just be confused or whatever. There's no continuity between like the first 7 to this game. It's always so weird when I say I need to play 7 games to get up to Yakuza 7, but that's only because Yakuza 0 exists. So it's technically there is 7 games before 7. Whoever wrote the story for this game, they deserve like some type of fucking medal. The way the beginning of this game is written is I've teared up a few times already in this game. That's how much it hits. It's so fucking good.
No, I'm happy to hear that you're enjoying it.
Oh, the battle system is so good. Like okay, so this is how good the main character is in this game. You immediately love this main character. There is nothing about this main character that you're just like, oh man, I don't know about this guy. All right.
Did he just get released from jail? That seems like a pretty big. I don't know about this guy.
Oh no, you play him before he goes to jail. He doesn't
So
get. He doesn't
we
just
play the reason that he goes to jail.
Yeah, we play the reason he goes to jail.
I see.
So in the first sequence with this main character or whatever, you do a chase scene, which I'm told this is the only chase scene that's in the game, which is actually unfortunate because I like this chase scene. And you're chasing this guy down because he's selling explicit videos of a very bad variety of type of porn, which I won't go into full detail. But he's selling it. He's selling it to teenagers as uncensored porn, but it's not uncensored porn. And that's putting like a bad cast over the Arakawa family. Yakuza of this like section or whatever. So Ichiban Kasuga is going after him to get the money back so he can give to the kids. Give back to the kids because he sold them faulty stuff or whatever. And so you fight the guy. It's turn-based combat. And the reason why it's turn-based combat is literally explained right after it, because the guy's like, one of the guys is like, why do you let people get hits in on you or whatever? He's like, I don't know, man. I feel like I want to be the hero, and like when I get into a fight, I just think it's Dragon Quest, and like everything just changes, and I'm like fighting in Dragon Quest terms, right? And so everybody knows Dragon Quest is a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
So he literally explains that every time he gets into a fight, it immediately goes to turn-based in his head, and that's how he views it. So that's why the gameplay is turn-based. And then later on, in Chapter 4, you get to a point where enemies actually start changing what they look like when you get into battle. So like so it's kind of like Persona, where like you run across a shadow or whatever, and it turns into something different. Or like you run into like an enemy and he just turns into something. That's exactly what happens in Yakuza in this Yakuza game, where you get into a battle or whatever, and then they just like one guy turned into like this big old fat burly guy, whatever. Like he's like a big old ogre. Sometimes they'll like spawn, like they won't have like a shield and a sword or whatever, but like when you go into fight them, they immediately get like a trash can lid as a shield and like some fucking wooden stick as a sword. There's one scene right in the beginning where you get the hero job, because this is a job-based game as well. So there's different jobs for your characters in this game, and you walk by this bat that's like cemented into the ground, all right, and your two party members like try to like lift the bat out of the ground or whatever, and they can't do it, and Ichiban's like, let me show you how it's done, all right? And then it turns into like a high quality fucking cutscene where he's like pulling the bat out of the ground, and there's like a light coming up, and he's like reaches it up into the air or whatever, and that's where you get the hero job or whatever.
Nice.
And it's like fucking Arthur pulling the goddamn sword out of the stone. It's just so good. I don't want to talk too much about this game, but it's, for Yakuza standards or whatever, this is the best Yakuza game. All right. That being said, I've only played one other Yakuza game, and that's Yakuza 0. But from what I've gathered, most of the other Yakuza games are kind of like Yakuza 0, because Yakuza 0 is the most recent game that was made, or the most recent like new game that was made in the Yakuza series. Kiwami 1 and 2 were technically the most recent because they were like remasters or like remakes of Yakuza 1 and 2, but they're made in the same style as Yakuza 0. It's so good. There's some fucked up shit in this game. So if you're not 18 or older, don't play this game. It's definitely a mature game, but I can only say good things about this game.
No person under 17.
Has stopped no person, but there's definitely some fucked up shit in this game. No, it's It's just so good. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm not going to talk more about it. I'll be on it. I'll be on it forever. I'll be on it forever.
Well, if it helps, I believe you, because I've run into like 5 or 6 other people who also cannot restrain themselves about how much they enjoy it.
Good.
Oh, actually, there is a mini game that they give you in after the whole you're being in prison for 18 years. All right.
Yeah.
Because you. So what happens is that your patriarch asks you to take the fall for the captain of the clan because he shoots somebody. All right, that's like a higher up in like the actual like Tojo clan, and Ichiban's like, yes, I'll do this because I've been wanting a way to repay like your kindness and all that shit. So like all this honor and stuff like that. And so you go away for 15. You get sentenced for 15 years. All right. 3 more gets tacked onto it a year in because you get in a fight with a bunch of people in jail. And so you're in there for 18 years. This game starts in 2001, or like in New Year's to 2000 to 2001. So Ichiban doesn't get out until 2019. All right. So there's a big culture shock difference between 2001 and 2019. So he gets out. He has no idea what cell phones on. He sees people walking around with fucking GoPros and all this shit. He has no idea what's going on. He gets picked up by this ex-cop who's now like working at the DMV or whatever, because he's researching the Arakawa clan or the Arakawa family, and he lets you in. Like he tells you like Arakawa family's a lot different now. They're part of an alliance that was opposed by the Tojo clan when you went in, but now your patriarch apparently betrayed the Tojo clan and all that stuff. So like Ichiban's on this like quest to figure out what happened or whatever. So like this cop is helping you, and then you meet up with your patriarch after doing this mission, and your patriarch's like, I banked on you coming to face me and all this stuff, and everything's going according to plan. He pulls out a gun and shoots you. All right, he like shoots you in the heart.
Oh, okay.
So you wake up like 3 days later in a pile of garbage in like a town, the next town, Yokohama. And you've been patched up a little bit because like one of the homeless guys or whatever used to be a nurse, and he like patches you up and tries to make sure you don't die throughout those 3 days. So you pretty much go from being released from prison to like maybe hopefully going back to the Yakuza to being shot and becoming a hobo. So your first party, you're technically your first party member was the cop, but your first party member that gets like permanently added at that point in time is just a hobo guy with you. His name's Nanba. He's a pretty cool guy. So it's you these two hobos like walking the streets of Yokohama trying to like find a job or whatever. And then you run into your cop friend again and all that stuff. You help a lady that's running like this prostitute hotel. You end up like actually living at that prostitute hotel. And you're just like, at the moment right now, I'm just going around trying to do jobs to get money. I technically have like 1,000,000 yen because there's a mini game, which is this whole story that I was trying to say. There's a mini game where you go to collect cans because you're a hobo. So you can like trade it in for money or whatever. But the most expensive thing was this thing called an elegant pouch, and it's a weapon for a certain job, which has some insane stats. All right, but you can sell that weapon for 1,000,000 yen, which is a lot of money at the beginning of this game. So that's what I did. I sold it. So technically, Ichiban's rich as fuck because I have 1,000,000 yen, but in the storyline I have like maybe like less than 10,000. So yeah. So we're just going around like looking for jobs and shit. And
fair enough.
Yeah, no, that's honestly that's all I've been playing. I did some 14 today. Yeah, that's actually all I've touched this week, or touched between the last time we recorded and now.
Yeah.
Um,
That's actually
which is only
a
like
fair update.
like 4 days ago. So, yeah. So, what about you guys?
Actually, made a very nice room. Had fun on a water slide today. I have a horse called Steve the Steed and a sheep called Barry, and lots of Pauls the cows.
A sheep called what now?
Barry.
Thank you.
Barry. Yeah. Well, I got to. Anyway, yeah. Then I actually subbed back on to 14 today, so I'll be playing that. That's all I've had time for. That's all I have to say. Ugh.
I just realized how much money I'm about to drop. Well, since last we spoke, I started SMT3, started Nocturne. Not HD, I'm playing the older one because that's what I have.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. I bought it for a reason. I'm actually really happy I didn't purchase it because probably after this, I'm going to pick up a Ruined King. So Nocturne goes on pause because I've already played that one. I actually haven't played any 11 since, and I needed a character action game, and I was stuck on like which one to play. And my friends was, just give Honkai Impact a shot. It's free and it's on Steam. I did. It's free. It's on Steam, and that localization's really bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So it's bad. It's bad. I'll agree with you. But this is how I justify it being bad. All right. I hit the skip button. I don't care two shits about Honkai Impact story.
Well, supposedly it's meant to be really good. I no longer believe the person that told me that.
It probably is good. It's just the localization's not very.
It's not very. And it might get better later on, but there's just too much stuff going on. I'm too late to the party on this one. Like there's way too many things. I don't want to have to farm all of these things out. It's splitting my attention. Nah, I'm alright. I gave it my shot. No, thank you. I'm going back to Arknights.
On the mobile game front, I downloaded Epic 7 on my phone.
Twitch has wanted me to download that so badly. It keeps offering me all these free things.
At the moment, I'm confused how to get the premium currency. I don't know how you get it without buying it. So I need to ask Coded because he plays.
Presumably by beating content.
You see, I thought you might get it through doing like the story quests, but I have yet
first
to get.
Clear usually gives you something.
No, I have one. I have one of the premium currency. You need 50 to do a 10 pull.
Huh. Well, that is interesting. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I wanted it because I hopped in and I was like, oh, they're doing they got a slime they have a slime collab going on. I can
just
get
play
Millum.
The slime game.
I should just play the slime game, but actually no. I want to play the slime game on my computer, all right? Because you move around like it's a fucking 3D game, all right?
Oh, it's a real game. Wow, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a real fucking game, but Nox or BlueStacks like it doesn't work for it, so.
That's a pity.
Yeah, it is. What else?
I didn't really get much else done in the time frame. I mean, as you all know, I was particularly busy yesterday.
Oh, so yeah, true.
Not much got done then, and I think it's just Nocturne. I'm just into Ikebukuro.
So, why didn't you get?
Because I literally have Nocturne.
But it's an HD version.
But it doesn't change anything except for some of the localization and add a dub. That's it.
Yeah.
No offense, I'm sure it's great, and I'll pick it up later on down the road. I just don't feel like spending that much money on what isn't really an upgrade for me.
Oh, I mean, I'm not an SMT fan anyway, so
Like, if I were to spend money on
I
something
won't
like
touch
that right
them.
now, I genuinely would have just picked up SMT5 instead. I prefer SMT to Persona, but not for the reasons you think. I definitely prefer the music and characters in Persona more, but
You don't
SMT
like
is a
the visual
visual
novel.
novel. When things happen, when there's a cutscene happening, things are happening on screen. The cutscenes are kept purposefully short because of that. I'm not having to deal with long bouts of just a picture.
I mean, that's fair.
It's genuinely like I like so much about Persona. I just can't get past that. My brain
I,
shuts off.
I do like the cutscenes in SMT5 because I've been watching a friend play it.
SMT5
But
is amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something about SMT that I just don't fundamentally agree with, and I don't know what it is. I couldn't put my finger on it. Not like agree with as in like as I would play it.
Okay.
If you like Persona, theoretically, there's no reason you wouldn't like this.
Yeah. The only difference is it's not visual novelty at all.
Also, if you
I
prefer,
don't feel like the
preferred the
story's
people,
very good.
Oh, that's not true. It's delivered. I mean, the biggest man. People are going to hang me for this. The biggest change is: do you prefer humans or do you prefer the monsters? Because if you
For
prefer the
humans.
humans, obviously, right? So if you prefer the humans, you're not going to get that in SMT because a lot of it is people are dead or there's only a select group of people you're really ever interacting with.
Yeah.
If you just really want to do
people-based storylines, I'd suggest Digital Devil's Saga. It's like the in-between between those two franchises by the same folks. Except you're in purgatory and you're demons.
Yes.
But people that turn into demons.
I don't know. I'm okay with watching somebody play, but I don't know. I don't know.
And the
Also
monsters
has
are
some
sassy as fucking.
They are. It's pretty
They're
funny.
so good. Oh my goodness! Like the writing for the monsters have always been pretty good. They've always had a bit of they've always had a lot of personality on them. 5 just ramps that sass through the roof. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, if
there's
it's
also
not
some
the
like
dumbass with too many friends, I came unglued when I saw that one.
No, there's one that's you were
you took the horse demon. I know.
Yes, yeah, the selfie,
I saw
the Kelpie one, yeah. That one just
was it Kelpie? I wasn't sure. There's a bunch of them. It could have been.
Yeah, it was a Kelpie, and he's like, he's like, well, what do you think? I make you horny? Looks suspiciously at your bare groin. leaves uncontrollably laughing. Just like Christ.
These are real things. Like occasionally they're so ridiculous from SMT5 that I've been like, okay, hold on, let's make sure that's real and hasn't been doctored.
No, it hasn't.
I
watched it. I watched it happen in real life, like and in real time. So I was just like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Watching somebody play this SMT, I realize it's very, very involved. Playing this game is very involved.
Yes.
And while I like gameplay that has depth to it or whatever, I feel like this one feels like you're doing calculus, and I don't feel like doing calculus.
I don't think it's doing calculus. I think at some point it just becomes a game of you can't mindlessly mash your head against it. Like, oh, let's make more enemies. This isn't Pokemon, right? Where you know the weakness, you hit them with a weakness, and you're done. That's a part of it. But if you're not like debuffing and buffing yourself after a certain part in these games, oh boy, unless you're playing on like a very, very low difficulty, I don't even think you can clear the game.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, they put the safety difficulty in, so I mean, anybody that wants to go through it just to experience the story, they can just literally go through that if they want.
That's fair.
So that in turn, like if I ever wanted to play, which I can't because it's only on Switch.
That's still I'm constantly reminded of this, and I'm constantly thinking it's fine. I'll just pick it up for PC. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't
it's only on
think
Switch.
it looks like it's been playing fine. I don't think I want to pick this up for Switch though.
Oh, it runs at 25 max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to not do that. That was my other issue with Nocturnes. It still runs at 30.
25 max.
I'd like to see this game at baseline 30, but I'd like it at a higher resolution and I'd like it at a higher frame rate.
Yeah.
Though I think a game like this, the frame rate doesn't matter as much, but still, it'd be nice.
Maybe Atlas can maybe Atlas has something in there like in their agreement with Nintendo. Maybe this will be one of those games that actually comes to PC.
Could be. I don't know.
Like, I mean, there are a couple of games from Square coming to PC. Like, I'm pretty sure. See, Octopath Traveler came to PC. Bravely Default 2 came to PC. I'm pretty sure Project Triangle Strategy is going to come to PC after like 6 months of it being on Switch. So, I mean, possibly Atlas has that, but who knows? Yeah, no. I mean, SMT5 looks good. Obviously, I said the other day, I think the whole save point system is a bit antiquated, but that's not something I can't not deal with. But I'm never gonna play it because it's on Switch. So, so who knows? Maybe one day. Is that all you played?
Yeah, that's it. I was busy for between the 2 days.
All right. We don't have a question from Little. Not surprising.
See you in the comments.
See you in the comments. Yeah. Yeah, he said we like Dalit ? Last week. So
mate, I'm here sticking up for you. What are you doing? You're shooting yourself in your foot, mate.
But today, they released the nominations for the Game Awards.
Yeah,
there are 30 categories.
Oh boy, is that too much?
Yeah, that's way too much. But yeah, we're gonna get into looking at these categories. I have it streaming to you guys, and I'm going to swap over to this screen.
Hey, before we start, because I'll bring this up during the course of these, but I want to say it now. I'm sure this is true of other categories. I'm sure other categories could be further broken down than they are right now. However, there is only one that bothers me at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think role-playing games as a genre need to die.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be broken down because some of these games I see going up against each other are so weird to be competing with each other. And I just feel like why are these the games that you are comparing? This feels wrong. Just my 2 cents.
They probably need to break it down to like JRPG and Western RPG.
More than that, honestly. But yes, that would be a baseline. But I don't think that baseline would actually help much.
It would definitely split up the anime RPG category. Because then stuff like Scarlet Nexus and
but I don't
Tales
necessarily
of
have an issue with something like Tales of Arise going up against something like a Dragon Age game or
that's fair.
Or like a Mass Effect game. That would be fine. My issue with games specifically, and it's always come down to this since I saw it.
Like Monster
games
Hunter?
That are RPG second.
Like Monster Hunter?
Like Monster Hunter and Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Both of those games are something else first, with RPG sprinkled in after the fact.
Yeah.
And to go up against like pure RPGs, it's like you are literally comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I
Uh,
love Monster Hunter, but here seeing it, I think it won the other year, was so bizarre to me.
oh yeah, Monster Hunter World won that one year.
Yeah, I love Monster Hunter to pieces. If it's an
It is
RPG, I guess
not.
it's one of my favorite RPGs. But I don't treat it as such, and I would have much rather seen a more standard
Because
or
you don't
traditional
really,
RPG.
yeah, you don't really level up, but you do upgrade your stats in a sense
Yes,
using the gear. I think
Yeah.
that's
my
very.
issue is what game nowadays doesn't let you,
I know, yeah,
and that's the well, that's why I say that's not the primary feature there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just something that I saw. I've been meaning to complain about since this channel started. It's one of the things that gets missing.
And we'll get to that when we hit to the RPG category, which will be interesting. But we're gonna go from in reverse order, actually.
Yes.
Because technically the first category on the Game Awards website is Game of the Year, and obviously you can't start with what's the thing everybody's watching it for. So we're gonna go to probably the one of the least important things on here is best esports event. We have the nominations of the 2020 League of Legends World Championships, the International Cup 2021, that's Dota, the PGL Major Stockholm 2021, I don't know what that is.
CSGO.
That's CSGO, okay. PUBG Mobile Global Championships 2020, and the Valorant Championship Tour Stage 2 Masters. Now, I'm not on an account here. I've already done my voting on my actual account. I'm just going through this for
There's no
for
immediate
the
rush
audience.
because this will be shown in December, and they only just released these nominations.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that right now. But yeah. Lots of time to do this.
I've already went through and voted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, I voted for the 2021 League of Legends World Championships because they're the most budgeted championship in
Yeah. So
everybody watches
what
it.
capacity did these run, the 2021s and stuff?
How do you mean?
Because
Yeah, what do you-
COVID. Was it all in line?
Some of it was online. I think nearer to where we are now. I think League actually had an audience.
Yeah, League had an
See.
audience.
Yeah. So as restrictions were lifted, events like this immediately made advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, I think I didn't watch the World Championships this year, which is probably the first year that I've not watched the World Championships. But every other year, it's been League of Legends that has pretty much won, and that's because they're the best at it. And as much as I don't like to say it
against League. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think. It's interesting. Not really. I think League's always going to win.
To be fair though, there were other contenders there on better years. I think the international is highly underrated. I've actually watched a lot of the Dota side of things. It's really good, and the casting is also very good.
Yeah.
I know CS:GO typically has decent tournaments. This year was a bit of a rout. I forget who the winning team was, but I don't think they dropped a single map. I think that's what Psycho said anyway, and that's insanity. I'm gonna have the hot take. Hot take. I'm gonna have the lukewarm take that PUBG Mobile Global is not worth anyone's time, except for the players.
Yeah.
And Valorant, I feel bad for Valorant. I feel like they really wanted Valorant to be bigger than it ended up being. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think that it's just too hard to fight against the money that Riot puts into their events. Dota has a longer it's been around longer, and it has, I feel like it should have as much prestige, and for whatever reason, at least in NA, and I'm pretty sure this is worldwide, it just doesn't. Like, it's absolutely still worth competing in if you're a player, and it's worth watching, but it's not the same.
It's so weird because you'd think Valve would put in the money for this stuff, but for some reason they don't really, like, they support it enough for there to be like championships and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near as big. You'd think Valve would push more for Dota to be like maybe to be league level, because I mean I'll go ahead and say Valve probably has almost near the amount of money that Riot has. It with withholding the fact that they're majority shared by Tencent.
My only assumptions is that they are less familiar with holding events and unwilling to do so.
Yeah.
And that they don't need to, because Dota still makes money. And they just don't need to make all the money in the world because they're Valve. They have enough money coming in from other revenue sources, and their attention isn't so much on what they have out now, but on future tech, which we found out in recent years.
Yeah. Dota did have quite a good anime on Netflix, actually. That was was well received.
Did you watch it?
No, I've just been told that I should.
Yeah, I might get around to doing that myself because I know it exists, but I haven't actually watched it myself either.
I need to find somebody with Netflix so I can watch Arcane.
Yeah.
I thought you had Netflix.
No.
Oh, well.
Netflix usually doesn't have stuff on it that I want to watch.
That's a mood. This has all been a roundabout way of saying I agree with you. Yeah, League takes this one for me as well.
Next. Now, I know none of these coaches. Best esports coach, we have Ariat Silent Gizev, which I'm assuming. Honestly, I couldn't tell what coach he's from. The only person I recognize here, slightly recognize here, is K-Coma over here, because I'm pretty sure he's the coach for DWG, which is a league team. But this is a category I know almost nothing about.
Yeah, Coma's the only one I know as well. So
yeah. I mean, there's FaZe, so I'm assuming that's what that's a CS:GO coach. But I mean, there's almost nothing I can say about this. Like, this category is for a very few specific set of people, and I'm not in esports scene really.
Now, that said, I am happy that with esports getting some amount of like validation that they are actually recognizing people. I just think they need to do a better job of it.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for like years. At least Game Awards have been doing this for like years on end. But the specific people in esports probably do need to get recognized a lot more for what they do. But they just don't. Outside of like people in League, I think League gets the most recognition out of anybody, because like I didn't watch the championships or whatever, but I'm pretty sure K-Coma is the coach for DWG. So we'll move on from that. Best esports team. Again, this one, the only one I really know is DWG because they're the League of Legends champion. I'm pretty sure they won this year. They wouldn't be on here if they didn't win. You'd think I would know Atlanta FaZe because I live right next to Atlanta, but I don't, because I don't watch CS:GO. But you have Atlanta FaZe. You have
actually, is that Call of Duty? It says
that is Call of Duty, actually. Okay, well, yeah, I don't even watch Call of Duty either, so. DWG for LOL. You have Natus Visire for Counter-Strike. You have Sentinels for Valorant, and Team Spirit for Dota 2. Again, I only know DWG, so I obviously voted for DWG.
Funny enough, that's Damwon.
Yeah.
Damwon didn't win.
Damwon Gaming.
Damwon Gaming didn't. They didn't win. Edward Gaming won.
Oh, Edward Gaming won. Okay.
I think.
I'm surprised they're on here.
I'm 90% sure. Well, it's funny you said they wouldn't have been on here if they hadn't, because I think this was made up about a month ago. I don't think that this is stuff that they just put together in the last week. So.
Let's see who won. Yeah, Edward Gaming won 3-2. Oh, damn! It went to 5 games. Yeah. Damn.
It certainly did.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Because, like, I mean, you said it would. I guess the championship did just happen actually like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, who knows? That's weird. I'm surprised they put Damwon in here instead of Edward Gaming. But I voted for Damwon because I at least know this team. Next best esports athlete. Again, we're doing this in reverse order because half of us don't even know any of this stuff. I know who Showmaker is though, and I've seen a lot of Showmaker's shit during League of Legends, but I know almost none of these none of these people.
It's an unfortunate case of like either this is going to be important to you to support your team, or you're going to be someone who doesn't follow esports, and this is just not going to be a category that matters.
Yep. But again, I voted for Showmaker because he's the only one that I actually know about it. So, best esports game. League of Legends. I mean, these are all good esports games. Call of Duty is okay, depending on what Call of Duty you're playing. Counter-Strike's actually pretty fun. I've never played Dota 2, but I know a lot of people love playing Dota 2. I've played way too much League of Legends in my life, and I've thankfully gotten away from it. And I've never played Valorant at all. Honestly, I don't think the League of Legends people are going to win every category, but I think at least with this category and the category of best like esports tournament or whatever, it's going to be League of Legends. That's just how I view it.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I think League has the widest grasp on people that are going to focus on the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
I think Call of Duty has probably the bigger fan base just in general, and I guess some people don't like hearing this. A lot of people that play Call of Duty play Call of Duty. That's their game.
That's their game. Yeah.
Maybe they also play 2K, but like they're not playing a lot of other games. Now, a lot of people that play Call of Duty also do play other games, but I mean, that's just how
most
it goes.
People most people that play Call of Duty pretty much, it's like people that play WoW. Most people that played WoW only played WoW because WoW wasn't a video game to them; it was like their life.
It's esport games and sports games like these. Like they're not the same as other. They don't drag the same people in as other games do. These are people who say like, oh, well, I like basketball, so I'm going to play. I play basketball, so I'm also going to do this in my off time because I love it that much. Call of Duty, I like watching military dramas. I like watching movies. Call of Duty gives me that feel, so I'm going to play it.
Or you just like playing shooters.
Or you're just a shooter guy, yeah.
Most people that like shooters will either they'll either just play Call of Duty or they'll play pretty much every shooter on the market. That's usually how it goes. But yeah, I think League of Legends is probably going to win this one. It's not guaranteed, but I think 100. I think almost 100% it will. This is where we get into the actual categories that some of us might be able to put forth some actual 2 cents in. All right. Most anticipated game.
Yep.
We have Elden Ring from FromSoft. We have God of War Ragnarok from Santa Monica Studios. We have Horizon Forbidden West from Guerrilla Games. We have the sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild from Nintendo. And we have Starfield from Bethesda. I personally voted for Elden Ring because I feel like that's probably the one that's most anticipated out of this, but it's not beating them. It's not beating them by a lot.
Honestly, I'm interested in most of them. I will say, even though I fucking love space, Starfield, I don't know much about, so I can't really anticipate what I don't know.
Yeah, same.
Starfield feels like an inappropriate game to have on this list. Like I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, but we don't know anything about it. We know enough things about the rest. For me, it's probably going to be either God of War Ragnarok or a sequel to Legend of Zelda. Probably at the moment Ragnarok, because we've seen nothing about most of these. My presumption for who's actually going to take it is Elden Ring, though, for 2 reasons. A, recency bias. Like we just saw something about this, and B, it has a playable demo out.
Well, no, it doesn't have a playable demo. It had a network
Sorry,
test that only
it had a network
few people,
test,
and it's over.
It's true,
Yeah.
but certain people got to play, and more important, certain content creators that create like that feel good content that you're looking for, like Vati with his lore videos, Max with
Mhm.
his hype demonstration, they got to play it. So even if you didn't, you still got something from that network test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elden
It
Ring
looked
did
really
have a
good.
gameplay demo like 12 days ago.
That was
That's
the
the
network
network
test.
test.
Yeah,
Yeah. The others
It
are
it
all
it looks really good.
yeah,
Yeah.
the others don't have anything out yet. So as much as like my most anticipated game is either Ragnarok or at the moment it's probably Ragnarok.
Hmm.
I expect I expect Elden Ring to take this rather handedly.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
I
English is rough tonight, lads.
I feel like one of the main reasons Elden Ring might take it is because it's going to be the first one out of this set of games to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because we like I said, we've seen Horizon Forbidden West. I don't think there's an actual release date on that yet. I just know it got pushed back to like I think first or second quarter next year. God of War Ragnarok is probably somewhere between third and fourth quarter next year. Zelda has a tentative next year release time, and then Starfield we know nothing about. I almost expect Zelda to take this just
No.
because it's Zelda.
No.
I mean, they took Game of the Year just because it was Zelda. So
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get. I think people like giving Breath of the Wild a lot of crap because it wasn't a traditional Zelda game. I
I
think
don't have.
I
If I
think
was to play a Zelda game, Breath of the Wild would have been the game I would have played.
I would start you on Twilight Princess.
I've played a little bit of Twilight Princess. I don't like it.
Oh, I'm sorry that you have bad taste.
I've played both Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time too. Two fully, and I don't actually really like those either. So
Well, then yeah, I guess Breath of the Wild is the only Zelda you'd be interested in. Because if you didn't like those 3 games, you're not gonna like the series.
no, I don't like the series at all.
But yeah, I think Breath of the Wild did a lot to change how certain games approached or were willing to approach the look of their series, and I can't really say change game design because all this is essentially a Ubisoft game, but better.
Yeah, I had this. This is my take when it came to the year that Breath of the Wild came out. I felt like Horizon Zero Dawn was like the better version of Breath of the Wild.
I was probably the better game. I don't know about better version.
I mean, there was a lot of bad stuff that was in Breath of the Wild. Like, okay, so
I mean,
I
I
don't
agree
care
with you. I think it was the
what.
better game. I just wouldn't
Yeah,
compare the two as. I wouldn't say Horizon Zero Dawn is a better Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'd say it was the better game that year.
I guess they honestly they do the same function. So they
Man,
actually
yeah, I guess so.
literally do the same function. um, I only say that is because they I'm not gonna get into it. That's gonna put me down the long road. Yeah, I gave it to Elden Ring, even though I kind of think Breath of the Wild's gonna get it. But yeah. Lee, did you say which one you're most looking forward to?
No, I agree with Elden Ring. Like like I said, even though I love space so much, I know nothing about Starfield. They haven't released any information. Horizon Forbidden West is cool, but I think like I'm wondering why they're still working on the PS4 version. Honestly, they should
It's because they
just
promised it.
concentrate on the PS5. Yeah,
So
but
that's mainly the only reason. Yeah, I agree. Next category: best debut indie game. I've played one of these games. The nominees are Artful Escape from Beethoven and Dinosaur and
Annapurna.
Annapurna, Perna, The Forgotten City from a Modern Storyteller / Bear Villagers, Kenna Bridge of Spirits from Ember Labs, Sable from Sedgework Raw Fury, and Valheim from Ironwork Studios or Iron Gate Studios. I played Valheim. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool. It's very cool. Sable still captivates me. I just
Sable
love
looks
the
really
style
good too.
so much. And that is open world as well, so you can go exploring. I haven't seen the other three. Kenna looks cute and interesting though, like a proper adventure.
Yeah, I unfortunately have no idea what the Artful Escape is.
Me either.
One of my mates is on the Forgotten City. Forgotten Cities was supposed to be I think it's a Skyrim mod that has just expanded into its own game. So that's very impressive.
That is impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Normally, Skyrim mods don't actually branch out that far, and Skyrim mods are pretty hefty. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they can be real hefty. I wish I had a chance at Kenna. I wish it wasn't delayed and I'd seen more of it, because I feel like that probably would have ended up being my decision. I just don't know enough. In the end, my vote's going to go to Valheim. I think I heard the most about it. I saw the most of it, and I was even tempted to almost pick it up. I love the way Sable looks, but again, I just didn't hear what I need to hear of it. Valheim is the only one on this list that I think made the splash that's going to win it this category.
Yeah, I think Valheim's going to win, but that's not indicative of what I voted for. I've played Valheim and it's pretty fun or whatever, but out of all of these games, I want to play Kenna a lot.
Same. I'm still going to at some point.
It looks like the game I would enjoy the most out of all of these. Because while Valheim's fun and all, you have to be in the mindset of wanting to play like an open world building game, or open world building survival game. You're normally never in that mindset or whatever. Kenna, on the other hand, is an action RPG, like an action adventure game, which also looked amazing. So at some point in time, I will be picking it up. But I voted for Kenna. Do I think that it actually had the best debut of indie game? No, Valheim did have the bigger splash or whatever, but I do also think that Kenna had a huge splash when it came out. Like the couple of weeks that it came out, and like literally everybody was talking about it. So, I'm not 100% like I've never heard of the Artful Escape or Forgotten City at all. So, that's not indicative of whether if it was like good or not, but it just never crossed my table. So yeah, I think Kenna, you think Valheim, and Leak wants Sable to win.
Hell yeah, no agreement.
Yeah.
I mean, Valheim might win, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sable's pretty.
So I didn't actually vote on this one because I don't know who the fuck these people are.
We're boomers, lads. I have no idea who any of these people are.
No, I don't know these folks.
I think I feel bad because I might know who Fuseli is. I'm just mixing her up with someone else. But is she an offline? She might be an offline TV person.
I have no idea. I don't even watch offline TV anymore. Yeah. Dream, Fuseli, Gauls, Ibai, and Grefsk. Yeah, I have no idea who these are, and best of luck to whoever wins this, because I don't want to say the best content creator. I don't want to say none of these can be the best content creator because they never came across my desk. But I mean, I'm also part of a small portion of the internet, so just because I don't see something doesn't mean they're super famous or anything like that. I don't even know who the fuck this is. Dream? It's just a fucking picture.
Dream must be big if they're willing to let that be their avatar on something like this.
Yeah. Who knows? But best of luck to all you content creators. That was the only one I actually didn't vote on. Here we go. Best multiplayer. Already, why the fuck is New World here? Because let me tell you what, their multiplayer is shit. This game is shit. It has so many bugs. This will not win unless Amazon bought Jeff Keighley. That being said, the nominees are Back for Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim.
All right, I'm gonna say right off the bat, I want It Takes Two to win. It has been so innovative, it's been so creative in how it uses its two-player and cooperative stuff you need to do. It's like there was one like time puzzle, and I haven't seen a time puzzle being done so fucking well, and the script as well. The story and the script and how it fucking hurts your feelings when there's a certain elephant queen on the screen.
Oh no, not the elephant.
Yeah,
No.
it's so good. This game is so entertaining to watch. And it must be so fucking fun to play. I haven't had a chance to play it, but this is so just really fun to watch as well.
Yeah, I want to play It Takes Two, but I don't really have anybody to play It Takes Two with, nor do I have the schedule to actually sit down and play
All I'm saying is you two really want to play this game. That's
yeah. But no, this is good. I mean, another one that might win. I don't really want Back for Blood to win because I just miss.
I don't think it'll win either. I
just want Left 4 Dead again.
Back for Blood has problems.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, I also think has a chance because
that's what
I liked it better than World. So
yeah, that's going to be my vote. I think It Takes Two is grand, and I wanted to win another category. I don't think it's going to win. I don't even think it necessarily should win Best Multiplayer, despite that being one of the core conceits of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know Back for Blood has had a rocky start, and I know New World is currently going through its iffy beginnings. Knockout City actually had a great open, and it's been well received. I just don't care for it.
I don't hear anything about it.
It's scored fine. I think it's like a 4 out of 5 game, maybe a 4.3 out of 5, 4.4.
I think the three that have the highest chance of taking it might be It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, and Valheim.
So what's weird for Valheim for me, and it's just the way that I've ingested this content, when I'm working and I have something in the background, a lot of the time the creator was speaking about or was playing Valheim. A lot of the time they were doing so by themselves. So I tend to completely forget that Valheim even is a multiplayer game.
That's fair.
So, like, for me, the only toss-up is, do I give it to It Takes Two because the whole idea is that it is a two-person game that's fucking adorable, or do I give it to Monster Hunter Rise that I personally enjoyed my most multiplayer time out of? And it's going to come down to Rise, though It Takes Two I think I have picked for a different category.
Yeah, I definitely picked Rise for this one because it's the only one out of this that I really sat down and played for a little bit. And I like the most recent iterations of Monster Hunter games, both World and Rise. So, and I plan to go pretty ham in the PC version because I didn't go ham in the Switch version. But yeah, Rise it is. Best sports / racing. The nominees are F1 2021, FIFA 22, Forza Horizon 5, Hot Wheels Unleashed, and Riders Republic. I picked Forza Horizon 5 because I've most recently gotten into it. Realistically, I think Hot Wheels is going to win.
No, you don't.
I do actually. This thing has had a fantastic start, and I've seen so many people do so much shit in this game.
So the reason why I can't believe you believe that is because we were having a chat and you thought Forza Horizon was Game of the Year material.
I thought Forza Horizon was Game of the Year nomination material.
Exactly, but so if it's Game of the Year nomination material, you think something else in its own category is going to beat it out?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because I don't think so. Here's the thing. I don't think
Hot Wheels is Game of the Year material?
No,
nomination material.
All right. There are two different categories here.
Yeah.
All right. I enjoy Forza Horizon 5 more than I enjoy any of these on this list or whatever. But realistically, I have seen a lot more people do so much shit in this game and
Yeah.
and have a huge fucking following in this Hot Wheels game, that I think it would take this category. This is
right, fair
objectively,
enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
subjectively, I love Forza Horizon 5. Objectively, I think Hot Wheels would have gotten it. But I think Hot Wheels is too niche to make Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That being said, I picked Forza Horizon 5. I've seen a lot of people do some stuff in Riders Republic, though. Riders Republic actually looks pretty nice.
If you liked, well, I shouldn't say that. If you liked the concept of Steep and were put off by the fact that it was all winter sports, and you just wanted your nice downhill spring sports, this is the game for you. This is what you were waiting for.
I'll never buy it because
Doesn't matter. You'll get it for free
minutes.
You'll get it for free on PlayStation Plus in the next 6 months.
Actually, is this on Game Pass?
Probably.
Yeah. So out of this, I think I personally would want Forza to win, but I think Hot Wheels might take it. I'm Xing out FIFA, but FIFA might actually win because it's FIFA.
Yeah, matter of fact, the only one on this list that I wasn't paying any attention to was Hot Wheels because I haven't heard anything about it, and none of the people I follow, I mean, they don't play these games anyway. So I guess that is the only game I've really heard a lot about is Forza. But to be fair, that's a little bit of my own bias because the Horizon series in particular are the only racing games I've been interested in the last decade or so. F1 isn't going to beat out FIFA, and I don't imagine it'll beat out Horizon. FIFA is the only other problem here, and FIFA wins everything all of the time. I personally think Horizon has a beat, but I wouldn't be surprised if FIFA ends up taking it. I don't think Riders Republic has the strength to beat those
no,
two.
it doesn't. It doesn't. Speaking of FIFA, though, the 10-year contract with EA is up.
They're fools if they don't resign.
It's not EA wanting to. It's not that EA not wanting to resign. It's FIFA going along with EA again.
FIFA are fools if they don't resign.
No, FIFA are not fools if they don't resign. You know how much money EA's made off of FIFA? All right, you know how much money FIFA's not made off of FIFA?
Well, that's the thing is, I'm sure they get a small cut of the microtransactions, and they're not going to get those if they don't happen. And
I've been hearing a lot of the FIFA's not going to resign with them,
and they might not. And there's plenty here that I don't know about. Obviously, right? My thought process is, if FIFA allows its license to go anywhere else, it will not be as brutally monetized as it is with EA, and will overall make less money. Now, that is amazing for us, because then we don't have to deal with all the bullshit that EA does. But I think FIFA will see a reduction in revenue from not re-signing with EA. And if EA doesn't fight to keep them, they're also fucking moronic.
Depends on who picks it up, because if 2K picks it up, it'll be just as monetized.
That is true. We could get 2K FIFA. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I miss the days where sports games were innocent. They were just sports games.
Best sim/strategy game. Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, World of Domination, Humankind, Inscription, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now,
I understand why it's still here because it has updates every year, but that feels a bit disingenuous having Flight Sim here again.
It's gonna win. It's gonna win.
Oh
I don't think so. I think Age of Empires is gonna take it.
That or Humankind, only because it's actually really fucking good alternative to Civilization.
Fair.
Actually, very good.
I don't expect Flight Sim to take this at all. As a matter of fact,
I feel like I see Flight Sim stuff every day.
Well, it's because it's been around for however many years. Also, it didn't have the same support as it had the last time we went through this. It didn't have that big Japan drop.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I don't really know about Evil Genius or Inscription, so I can't really comment.
Same. I saw a little bit about Inscription, but not enough to form an actual opinion on it. And this is the first that I've heard of Evil Genius. I'm sure I know
Yeah.
of this series, but I
This is the first I've
can't
heard
put
of
my
it, too.
finger on it.
That being said, I voted for Age of Empires. But I still think Microsoft Flight Simulator had the chance to pull it out of its ass. The only time I ever saw Inscription was when it was revealed.
That event.
No, I haven't really seen anybody talk about it. The only card game I've seen people talk about this year is the Yoko Taro card game.
Was Loop Hero last year?
Loop Hero, it's technically this year because it's actually on one of. It's
those
on
are
one
the
of the
two that I know of.
Yeah. Loop Hero is actually on one of the categories.
Oh, good. I must have missed it.
Best family game: It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, and WarioWare Get It Together. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
This is a hard one.
This is tricky.
You have 4 Nintendo products on this one list.
Yeah, and unfortunately, unlike usual, they're actually pretty strong. I don't know about Mario Party. I get it. Mario Party is always a safe bet. I don't know. Genuinely seeing a new Pokemon Snap is always. I'm still so excited. I'm going to own that game for Christmas. 3D World probably won't take it, and WarioWare probably also won't. But man, it's nice seeing another WarioWare game.
Yeah, I heard good things about the new WarioWare game, but I've seen so many people play the new Mario.
It does feel
Superstars.
weird to see this in this category, though. But I guess I don't know where else you would put it. There isn't a party game section.
Yeah.
I feel like
this is
new Pokemon Snap is
on It Takes Two, like 100% for this one. By the way, I love Pokemon Snap. I wish Pokemon Snap would take this. My money is 100% on It Takes Two.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my problem with new Pokemon Snap. Is it really a party or like a family game?
No.
That's exactly what it's just a single player. You snap pictures. It's not like
I'm pretty sure
you don't play
there is a
with people
aspect to it. Actually,
there might be. I don't know anything about the new Pokemon
family game. I also wouldn't call WarioWare or Bowser's Fury a family game. This is essentially Keeley's best way of saying, look, we have to give Nintendo a surefire win. And you know what? Honestly, this year, I don't think it is.
I would argue that WarioWare is a family a party family game because it acts the same way as Mario Party does.
Yes,
it's a mini game. It's just a mini game.
That's fair.
You can play with other people. Super Mario 3D World, on the other hand, I don't agree. Yeah, I would like to see It Takes Two win this one just to fuck over Nintendo, but I honestly kind of expect Mario Party Superstars to win this. Yeah.
Thoughts, leaky one?
Yeah, thoughts, leak.
Well, for family game,
yeah.
I agree with It Takes Two.
Okay, we must have missed that.
Yeah.
Right.
I would like to see It Takes Two, but yeah, I still think it's going to be Super Mario. Best
Strive.
Yeah,
fighting.
I'm gonna have to agree with this. Strive is good. I don't know. Maybe Nickelodeon will because it's just them those.
So here's like knowing that this is at the end of the day a giant popularity game. Yeah, you're right. There's a legitimate chance. Realistically, the best designed fighting game this year was Guilty Gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Melty Blood was quite good, but I still think Guilty Gear is better. Virtua Fighter is weird because that's literally just an upscale of a game that came out in 2005.
Yeah. And the online was really bad.
I can't say for Demon Slayer, and I do have to admit this is my anime bias, saying that it's probably not going to be as good as a traditional fighting game.
Oh, it's an arena fighting game.
It's not. It's Naruto Ultimate.
It's Naruto. Yeah.
Yeah, and those games are fun, and I like them before anyone gets on my case. I just don't think they're gonna ever take a real fighting game in a game show sense.
There will be riots if Guilty Gear Strive does not win.
I can't imagine it
out of
doesn't win.
out of this list,
Like,
there will be
the
Rise.
the visual presentation is so good. It's been rock solid with its content. Like, it's finished, which is a big thing.
Yeah, it's solid.
Like,
It is actually very good. They're continuously updating it. You have lots of updates I see on the PlayStation.
we just got Happy Chaos as the newest DLC.
Yep.
Or sorry, announced as the newest DLC. He isn't out yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I can't imagine that Guilty Gear doesn't take this.
Yeah, me either.
I reckon the surprise one might be Nickelodeon because
Yeah. You will hear me wherever you are if it wins. I will be very angry, but I don't think I'll be entirely surprised.
Well, it's
This
unanimous.
makes a good point.
Guilty Gear Strive. Unanimous decision. Here we go. Best role-playing game. Cyberpunk 2077.
When did this game
Monster
come out
Hunter
again?
Rise. It came out in December last year. Scarlet Nexus. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Tales of Arise. Man.
Okay. So here's the actual hot take on this that I didn't say beforehand. I don't think Scarlet Nexus should be here either.
Wait, why?
Because it's an action game first. I think there are only 2 role-playing games on this, and I think the other 3 are other games with numbers that you can mess with.
I don't agree, because while Scarlet Nexus is an action game, it has every. If you're gonna argue Tales of Arise is on this list, then Scarlet Nexus has to be on this list, because they're literally the same game.
Okay, if they really are the same game,
yeah, they're almost exactly the same game. Tales of Arise just has a better battle system.
Okay, yeah, I got from Scarlet Nexus when I played the demo was that this is a character action game.
Because you level up, you have to put points into getting abilities. And you have to upgrade your weapons and all that shit. Like if you argue that Tales of Arise is an role playing game, then Scarlet Nexus is. I don't agree with Cyberpunk and Monster Hunter being on here.
So why don't you agree with Cyberpunk?
I fucking hate Cyberpunk. That's why.
That's fine, but it is an RPG. It's an RPG in the same vein as Fallout.
It is the most role play game actually out of this
Of all this group, with the exception of maybe Shin Megami Tensei, this is the most role playing game, and it's certainly the most old school role playing game.
I just. All right, Monster Hunter Rise is the only one that really shouldn't be on here. Then
I just I love it. I love it to pieces. I fucking adore Monster Hunter. Have since Freedom Unite. Shouldn't be on this list.
Yeah. I will say.
What would you choose instead?
God, what role-playing games came out this year? Fuck. I was just seeing this argument.
Language.
On. We've already said this. This whole entire podcast. I saw this argument on Twitter. And why isn't Neo Toei on here?
I'm sorry, what was that second word you said? Neo
Toei. Neo, the world ends with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought you couldn't say. I thought you were saying Neo too. Right.
No,
yes.
Toei.
No, that is probably the correct answer.
Yeah. Yeah, why isn't that on here? That's even though. No, it's a JRPG. Yeah, it's honestly, it's an action JRPG. That's all I can say. That's what the world's end, Neo the World's End with You is. That's why is that not on here? I don't know why. Maybe because it's more niche than all these other games that are on this list. Which is weird because both Tales and Mega 10 are on here. And those are some of the 2 most niche JRPG series.
I would have also accepted Monster Hunter, but not that one.
Or stories.
Oh yeah,
I would have
why is the
accepted
stories on
stories.
here?
Yeah, why isn't
Yes.
stories on here?
This
That's
is
bizarre,
the
isn't
this
it?
is the answer I was expecting Aqua to give, and he threw me a loop when he said the world ends with you.
When did Monster Hunter Stories
Because
come out?
because you're as far as I'm aware, you're the only one in this call that's actually played it. I've only played the demo.
Wait, well, I mean, it goes to show you that I don't play it as much as I should. Yeah, it came out in fucking June 25th. What the hell? What the hell? Why put Rise on here and not fucking Stories too?
I've got another one, but this particular call is probably going to like less.
What?
Where's Diablo 2?
No, don't agree.
I
don't
know, but
Blizzard doesn't need to win anything this year.
And to be fair, as far as I'm aware, they weren't.
They're not. They're not
No.
on this list, on any of these lists anyway. So this is hard because we haven't even talked about what we think's going to win. Man, so I don't think Scarlet Nexus is good enough. I don't think Monster Hunter Rise should be on here, but Monster Hunter Rise could. You guys said Cyberpunk is technically the most.
I don't think it's
RPG.
good enough to win, though.
No, it's not good enough to win. No.
No, I think the baggage it brings with it is just too much for it to.
Yeah, it's gonna be
it's
definitely
down.
Megami
Tensei
It's going to be
Five
down
or
to
Arise,
down to the
yeah.
2 games that we think should be on this list. Though
Yeah.
it should be pointed out, Monster Hunter has taken this category before.
Yes, Monster Hunter has. I don't think Rise was as popular as a World.
Yeah, I think the real test will be next year with the expansion. Once people have access to like 2 years worth of like Monster Hunter, I think that
PC. It being on the Switch hurts it that much.
I don't think so.
No, because not as many people can get access to it.
I don't think so. I do not think that hurts it as much as you think it does for this event. I think that's true for like sales numbers, but not for this event.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's as popular as it's not as popular
I agree.
as
World. I don't think it's. I think World brought with it this new sense to it, and I think that carried a lot of it. I think now that we've gotten adjusted to that, I think we're gonna have to wait until Sunbreak.
Sunbreak.
Yeah, Sunbreak. I hate that they didn't call it Sunrise. Unfortunately, I haven't played 5 yet. Everything I've seen of 5 tells me I would absolutely love it to pieces, but my money is 1,000% on Arise. 1,000%.
I would be so happy if it's Arise. I'd be so fucking happy.
I don't think it's gonna be, but I would like it to be a lot. I would like it to be so much. I'm blind to any other possibility.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how Shin Megami Tensei actually wins, given it's been out for 3 days.
I think it can. I mean, it's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks before the Game Awards actually happen.
Yeah, so they're going to have time to really dig into it. It's always weird that the break isn't when things are announced. It's when the game. I don't know. I think the break is late. I wouldn't have included Shin Megami Tensei this year. I'd have saved it for next year.
Yeah.
But it's there now, and I don't have much to say on it yet. I would like that to change by the end of the year, but I'd also like it to be on PC. So
I would love. So this is how I think. This is the reason why I think Arise might get it, because you can get it anywhere, outside of the Switch. Because this game, Arise on the Switch would kill the Switch.
Forgive me for being like hopelessly optimistic, but genuinely think it was just a really, really good RPG. It should win on its merits.
Yeah. Not only that, Arise broke a lot of records. All right.
It broke a lot of records for the Tales series.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing anything for SMT. All right.
That is true. Well,
I'm not seeing.
Isn't SMT unfortunately bottlenecked by the success of Persona?
Possibly. I mean, it is Persona without the heart.
It has a strong following of the fan base. It does. They are hardcore fans of this.
Yeah, they are very.
But it is niche, though. Niche, shall I say?
Niche. I appreciate that. Yeah. I am frustrated with the way reviewers handled Shin Megami Tensei 5. I do not see why they were so insistent on comparing it to Persona instead of comparing it to its most direct comparison in Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why it's not called Shin Megami Tensei 5 Persona 6. It's two separate series.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Um,
And that's unfortunately Megaten's current failing, is that it has to live up to the thing that got more popular than it.
there's a video that Evan showed me. I'll have to show you guys later. It's just too funny. I 100% think Arise is going to win this, just based off of 1, its merits, 2, its profound success that it has had. It's the best-selling like Tales game that's ever existed.
Yep.
Megaten's getting a lot of traction right now, but I've like in the amount of days that Arise was out compared to the amount of days that Megaten was out, Arise was already breaking its own it's already preset records. Megaten isn't.
Yeah.
But again, Megaten is definitely the more niche series. So that's the honestly, because it's a popularity contest. Honestly, I think Megaten loses out off on that.
I think so. I think that's safe.
I don't think Scarlet Nexus will do it, even though I think Scarlet Nexus was a good game. Monster Hunter Rise really shouldn't be on this list, and Cyberpunk 2077 is a piece of shit. So, next category.
Game. It wasn't that bad. It was bad.
It was bad, but that bad. Yeah. Best action adventure game. The nominees are Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. Why? Well, we're not going to get on that. Resident Evil's not going to
win. Horror is not a genre. That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
My money on this is on Marvel. I would like it very much to be Ratchet or Metroid.
So this is rough because I specifically think that Metroid might take it. This is me being cynical about fucking Nintendo games. All right, this is based off of me being cynical about Nintendo.
Well, Metroid
games,
Dread is awesome though.
Yeah, it's genuinely great.
No, Metroid Dread is awesome
from where they were.
Yeah, I know that, but this is just me. Like, I don't think if Metroid Dread wasn't even as good as it was or whatever, I think it would still take it just because of Nintendo.
Let me tell you, after other M, if Metroid was bad, it would not only not be on this list, we already wouldn't be talking about it. Or if we were talking about it, if we say, how have they screwed up Samus twice? How have they done this? Instead, she looked like a goddamn champion start to finish, and my girl's got a voice now.
That's good.
She spoke in shows. I guess she had a voice in other M too, but we're going to ignore that.
I think
she spoke Chozo.
Oh, she did. I think the two big titans on this list is definitely Guardians of the Galaxy and Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I know. I remember you saying how much you loved playing Ratchet and Clank.
I think Ratchet and Clank wins this. As much as I do like Guardians of the Galaxy, I haven't beat it yet. Within the first 10 minutes of Ratchet and Clank, it's 12 times better than Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, the gameplay in Guardians of the Galaxy is okay, but I think it's its weakest point. So, and that's what we're basing the genre off of it being like a good action adventure game. I think Ratchet and Clank takes pretty much every one of these games single-handedly.
I'm inclined to agree. I think even as good as Metroid Dread was to the character of Samus, I think at the end of the day, it's kind of an older style that people can't appreciate as much nowadays, where Ratchet and Clank is it heralded in the new generation quite well.
Yeah. You'll be hard pressed to find anything wrong with Ratchet and Clank is the problem. I don't really think there's actually a single thing wrong with that game. And that's the problem. I think out of all the 5 games that are on this list, you can find probably specific problems with some of these games. I don't think there is a single problem wrong with this game. Metroid Dread's probably the only other one you could argue there might not be a problem with. But that's where I stand at. I think Ratchet and Clank wins this single-handedly.
Yeah, I've wanted Psychonauts for a long time, but I think we're a little past the time that it was going to win awards.
Yeah, I think Psychonauts 2 took too long to come out.
Yeah, I think if this came out more in line with when it was supposed to, that's a different story. I don't think this is the time for it.
Mhm.
I still hope it does well. I will pick it up eventually. I loved Psychonauts 1.
Yeah. What about you, Leek?
Only because it's not just you that said how great this game is. I've seen and heard a lot of very, very good things about Ratchet and Clank, so I think that one's the one that will win. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I liked Resident Evil Village. I loved watching it too, but it doesn't. Yeah,
no,
it doesn't really.
It doesn't
compare.
hold. I don't think it holds.
Not in this category.
To at least two of these games actually. So yeah. And honestly, Ratchet and Clank was like one of the only games that I've actually made a fucking video about. So, yeah, best action game: Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. I've only played one of these games, and that's Returnal. I've never beaten it, and I should probably actually go back and actually beat it because they have actually put save points in it now. Thank God. I think Back 4 Blood has had too many problems with it. I don't hear much about Chivalry 2.
Yeah, same.
I did hear Deathloop was actually good.
Yeah.
But I think when you pair it up with either Far Cry 6 or Returnal, it might not pan out.
Actually,
I voted for
Far Cry. Apparently, it's just being carried by Giancarlo.
Yeah,
that game is super middling, apparently. And from what I've seen, it does feel like it's just another Far Cry game.
Yeah. Well, then maybe it's either between Returnal or Deathloop because I don't think either Chivalry 2 or Back 4 Blood is. Like,
Neither do I. I think Returnal wins this.
Maybe. I would be more inclined to think Deathloop would, but Returnal.
Oh, okay.
It was. Only because Returnal had some problems after its launch. Deathloop doesn't really have problems. It's just to some people it may not look like a game that they want to play. I
mean, that's a problem for the publisher, let me tell you.
Wait, no, it's a problem for like the publisher, but the people that have played Deathloop, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
That's good to hear, because I was really dour on this game. I got tired of seeing it, to be honest.
Oh yeah, because we saw it at every fucking conference for the past year and a half.
Christ. I just fucking announce things 6 months before they come out, please. I'm so tired of 2 years of hype that just doesn't last.
Yeah. But I'm more inclined to think Deathloop will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Returnal won. Best VR AR. We have Hitman 3, I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4, and Sniper Elite VR.
So I didn't hear anything about Lone Echo.
Me either.
I don't know what that game is. I feel bad now.
It's a Ready at Dawn game, so it's, they usually have pretty good games, but I've never heard anything about Lone Echo. I've never heard anything about I Expect You to Die. I've heard a little bit about Hitman 3 VR. I've heard the most about Resident Evil 4, and I've heard that it's really good.
Yes.
Expect You to Die is really fun, cooperative, like bomb defusing game.
Yeah, it's like
I've seen it
don't
played,
stop talking
and
or everyone dies.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
As a matter of fact, that's one of the 2 games I expect to take it.
That or Resident Evil VR.
That or Resident Evil.
4.
I don't expect Sniper Elite or Hitman to beat out those 2. Because the upside, the thing is with it, I Expect You to Die, is while it may not be like the most polished looking game ever, it appeals to like interacting. Like a lot of content creators play this game, right? and it does really well on YouTube and such.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 4 brings with it a lot of nostalgia, though, and it's still a lot of people's favorite Resident Evil game, myself included.
Yeah. Yeah, I expected it to be Resident Evil 4.
I think I agree with you. I think nostalgia is going to hit a lot of people hard with that one.
Yeah. Next, innovation in accessibility. Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and The Veil: Shadow of the Crown. So I didn't know who to actually really vote for on this one because I'm in a position where I don't need to use accessibility options. Because I don't have color blindness. I don't have any type of I'm not coded. Our friend coded who's one-handed. We don't. I don't have a problem with that. So I never have to go into the accessibility options. That being said, I have seen the accessibility options for Forza Horizon 5, and they're pretty good. But that's the only one I have a slight understanding with.
Yeah, I
maybe
don't know.
maybe Ratchet and Clank, but it's been 6 months.
I know Guardians has apparently substantial captions. I forget what they're called, but they encompass everything you would need if you were deaf or hard of hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that is the only game I know that is doing anything accessible wise. Though I know accessibility is just becoming a mainstream must-have addition. I genuinely do not know what features are there for others. This isn't a done deal like Last of Us last year, which was so good.
Good, yeah.
I genuinely none of these games have put out any content that show you this. They've not made a big deal of it in their advertisements, and I don't know. So Guardians of the Galaxy is the only one that I know that has special captions for the hard of hearing.
Yeah. So I'll either throw it down to Forza or Guardians of the Galaxy because I didn't even look at the stuff for Guardians of the Galaxy. I only looked at Forza because I needed to look at everything to see where all the options for me to change some stuff. But I did see they have a large list of options for that game. So I threw it into Forza. But it could honestly be any one of these.
Let this be a lesson, devs, or not devs, but publisher houses. Have your teams cut trailers for accessibility too, so we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Also gives you another trailer that we don't have to watch the same one again.
All right, best community support: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, or No Man's Sky.
I'm so biased, and I don't even care.
This cast is so biased because we're gonna say
I don't even care. I don't think any game on this list has the interaction or the positive sentiment by the community towards the developers that 14 has.
Literally,
Destiny's built up so much ill will against it. I genuinely don't even know why it's still on this list.
Right here, the thing for best community support: recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game up. This is 14.
I think they just read that last part though, because Destiny 2 has good social media presence, and that's it. Because they do, admittedly, the social media is on point. But yeah,
14.
I admittedly don't know enough about the Apex Legends community.
Yeah, me either.
But I also do know that Respawn went through a rough point last year and refused to talk to their community about it. So that, in and of itself, is pretty telling to me. I don't know about Fortnite for bias reasons of I just stay as far away from that as is possible. I know people get a lot of things they want. I have no idea if it's because of business deals, like I assume, or because they actually have a back and forth with the community reps and things get done. And No Man's Sky, I have a bad taste in my mouth of from the launch, but supposedly they've gone real good about that. I
Oh,
still don't know if they have good community support
they
or
do.
they're just finally getting around to giving people what they want, though.
After their launch, they definitely took. So, Hello Games went silent for a little while after the launch.
A little while,
Uh,
yeah. Huh?
and then, well, I mean, it was just a little while. It was like maybe a couple of months or whatever. Um, then when they actually got their shit together, they have really good community support, and that dev has literally done everything it has like needed to turn that game around. That game,
Well, that's good.
Every time I contemplate playing No Man's Sky, I have to stop myself because I'm sitting here like, if I play this game, I am only playing this game.
Okay, but this is my point. Is it because the game is good now? Because remember what we're talking about. Or
Oh
is there
no,
actual good community support?
there's a great community support. They're
Okay,
like,
do you
Hello
mind
Games is
elaborating
always
on that?
tweeting. Yeah,
Okay.
Hello Games is always tweeting.
Again,
They're
so's
always
to
talking
sleep
about their
too.
stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, okay, let's be real here. But I mean, if there's any problems with No Man's
So
Sky,
here's
they're
here's
always
what I'm
addressed.
here's what I'm getting at. A social media presence does not actually mean community support. The real reason why this call, and this is less talking to you, Walk, we're more talking to everyone on the
Hmm.
cast. The reason why we are so appreciative of 14 is because we have like really consistent live letters.
Yeah,
We managed to get a fan fest, even if it was just online. There was an event of sorts this year for us.
yeah. I
If
feel like
whenever there are
14
anything wrong
wins
with the
hands
game,
down
there
just
is
because of
like
that.
there's a panic response by the community where they say, "Look, we understand this. We're sorry. We're fixing it now."
Now, yeah.
Like
Uh,
that makes a huge deal, especially now in the situation that these poor devs are in. Oh man.
I so I'm not arguing for No Man's Sky to win this or whatever because
Sure, sure,
I
sure,
think
sure.
14 wins this single handedly between almost every game. No, I don't care what game you put this up against. I don't think you're gonna find a better community support. All right, I
I
just
think
don't
it
think
would
you will.
take I think it would take Capcom as a company to give it a little bit of trouble, and I still think 14 wins.
Yeah.
Because Capcom is one of the other companies that has like roundtable discussions with
Yeah.
that they have to their fans, but like it's just not common enough yet.
Could you imagine if Blizzard was on this list?
No, I can't, and it's a good thing they're fucking not.
No, what I'm arguing is that I think if any other company, I think if any other game on this list had a chance of like doing anything, I think No Man's Sky would.
Sure, and I imagine that is like them and Fortnite are the only two that might have it, and I just don't know enough. So that's fair.
Yeah, but we're all biased, and we're gonna vote
Biased
Final
as
Fantasy
fuck.
14 anyway.
Okay, yep.
So, like
Unapologetically.
half of us have met their community, their community like
Yeah,
leaders.
I've met Yoshi P. He's cool.
Yeah, we've all met Yoshi P. We've all
Yeah.
I've met Matt at FanFest.
Yeah.
I've met
I've also met Matt. What?
yeah.
Yeah, Fox Clan too.
No, not that Matt. Matt Hilton. Met Foxconn. I've met Soken. Not our Matt. Matt Hilton.
Oh,
But no. I mean, I met Shannon when she was still part of the. I
Yeah.
think the only one out of the list I haven't met was either Reinhardt and Aya.
Mm.
But that's it. But yeah, 14 hands down. If 14 doesn't win, there will be riots. Best mobile game.
I'm out. I don't know.
Yeah. So I honestly didn't think this was Fantasian. I thought this was Nier.
it looks just like it. I don't think Fantasia's going to win though, which is a shame because it looks fucking beautiful.
I don't think Fantasia's going to win just on the sole fact that Genshin and League of Legends is on here.
Exactly. Marvel's isn't good enough. Pokemon Unite isn't good enough.
No.
Genshin would win this hands down any other year, but League just put out its mobile port.
Yeah.
League might take it.
League might take it, but I still think it's strongly favored for Genshin.
I'll cause some trouble. I'll say League. I'll die on this hill.
Okay.
I don't 100% believe myself, but enough to say it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Best indie game. There is 12 Minutes, Death's Door, Inscription, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and Loop Hero. Not gonna lie, I think this is a hard sell on almost all of these games outside of Kenna and Loop Hero.
Yeah, like 12 Minutes was neat. It's certainly novel, but I don't think it's beating out Loop Hero or Kenna. Death's Door. Is that that's the adorable crow game, right?
That's the Crow game that's kind of like, I guess, an indie Dark Souls-esque type game.
It looks adorable. I didn't even know it launched.
Oh yeah, it launched. It launched it launched actually a while ago.
So those weren't revealed. So those weren't like reveal trailers.
No, that
those
trailer. That trailer was
trailer.
for that trailer was for a port.
Oh,
because
I'm
I think it
gonna
released
pick
on
that
the
game up at
Switch.
some point. Then, because if it's an older game, it's probably relatively cheap. If it's an indie and older, yeah, I'll support that. I don't know anything about it though. I thought it was coming out. I didn't realize it's already,
Yeah, the trailer that we watched
launched.
recently was already out. It was just coming to another platform.
Well, crap. And like I think both Leek and I said earlier, Inscription, we've heard about it, but that's it.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be so. Subjectively, I would like it to be Kenna.
Loop Hero.
Yeah, no, subjectively, I think I would like it to be on Kenna, but I think it's going to be Loop Hero.
Yeah, it was great.
So yeah.
It's a real novel concept that it took a second for me to get my head around, but that's really neat.
Best ongoing: Apex Legends, Final Fantasy XIV Online, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Call of Duty Warzone.
I am biased again. Hi.
Yeah.
Biased, but I don't think 14 wins this one.
So I'm biased, and my bias is so strong, I don't see how any game can beat Final Fantasy XIV this year. Maybe other years, not this year.
Not this year. I don't know. I'm cynical.
Not
I'm cynical. That's why.
Not with the influx that we've had, not with the upcoming release, and not with the content that's on its way. I don't like Naruto isn't going to beat Endwalker. That's all I'm saying. Like Apex Legends is not something I'm worried about. Call of Duty isn't something I'm really worried about, though Call of Duty routinely surprises me at winning awards that it probably shouldn't. I'm always a little worried about Genshin because of the sheer amount of money it makes doing virtually nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
I recognize
always cynical.
that it's come leaps and bounds from where it was. I don't know, y'all. And Fortnite's an actual powerhouse. I could be wrong. Fortnite might actually take this because of how it maintains relevancy. But
Yeah.
I don't think this is the year to go up against 14 in any genre.
Maybe.
Sorry, in any category. I don't think 14's winning the fighter.
I just think I'm just very cynical because as much as like we're in our own bubble where we love the fuck out of 14 or whatever, and we look at other games as like this is not 14 level quality.
Yeah, everything else is like monochrome and dull by comparison.
Yeah. I would love for 14 to win, but I think that there's a great chance that Fortnite and Genshin have a better chance of taking it. But I do love how they're using a Sage picture for 14, so that's nice. Games for impact. These are thought-provoking games with a pro-social meaning or message. The nominees are Before Your Eyes, never heard of it. Boyfriend Dungeon, have heard of it. Chicory, A Colorful Tale, never heard of it. Life is Strange, True Colors, and No Longer Home. I feel like Life is Strange will probably win this one just because of it's the social impact game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with a couple of these, but Life is Strange certainly that has been the entire concept behind it, right?
Yeah.
Is just dealing with emotion, with the emotional repercussions of decisions and being open to talk about them and helping people through them. Boyfriend Dungeon being on this, maybe that game's deeper than I think it is. But so far as I was aware, that was an Otome game. That feels weird being here. Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the other games.
No Longer Home. It didn't stand out to me in any particular way, and I think that has a lot to do with how it was presented. And I'm sorry, I didn't get much from it, and unfortunately, I missed Before Your Eyes and Chicory. Though Chicory looks neat. I don't know what's going on there. Trying to color in your world, it looks like it might be about depression, how to overcome that.
Possibly. Who knows? But yeah, I think I honestly
Presented and
just a category for Life is Strange to win.
Yeah, they're the highest profile. They've had the most money thrown at their advertisement team, and they've genuinely done a good job in previous Life is Strange's of covering topics that need to be covered.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Best performance, we have Erica Mori as Alex Chen from Life is Strange True Colors. We have Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Castillo from Far Cry 6. Jason Kelly as Colt Vaughn in Deathloop. We have Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. And we have Ozomiya Akaga as Julian Blake in Deathloop. So in no world that Giancarlo Esposito doesn't win this.
see, yeah, that's my problem. It's like I really liked Maggie as Lady Dimitrescu. I really liked Jason Kelly in what I heard. I was less sold on Ozioma. And I didn't. I mean, I've only seen Erica in the
Trailers.
advertisements.
Yeah.
But I've watched a couple of Giancarlo's scenes, and they're really good. That game might be middling. His performance is not.
So yeah, I don't.
Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu is very impactful.
I think she's the runner-up. I think she's the runner-up.
Yeah, I think she wins in a year that didn't have Giancarlo as a competition.
I see.
But honestly, that's just a little bit unfair because Giancarlo is just a very good actor.
He is, yeah.
In general,
he is.
He's just a god. He's just a god at acting. So,
like, I can't. There's not even an asterisk. Like, usually it's like, well, like he's good, but like these are voice actors, and that he's just really good. It's like that's unfair. I understand why he was added, but this is brutal.
It's almost like putting Laura Bailey in this category like they did last year. There was no way Laura Bailey was not going to win, and in a list of like almost any.
Well,
other
that was
voice
Laura Bailey and Ashley Johnson from the same game. So.
Yeah, true. There was no way neither of those weren't going to win.
It's real strange, and we've gotten to the point where actors no longer have to be like Keith David, who is good both as an actor and as a voice actor. Now, Giancarlo is not handicapped in any way in his deliveries. He doesn't have to match flaps. He doesn't have to he doesn't have to change around his diction. Giancarlo is playing himself as a fucking mad dictator.
Well, he doesn't have to do flaps anyway because everything's fucking motion captured too.
That's my point. Is we are no longer handicapped. He has free reign, and so now you have an actor who's been doing this for years. And as I recall, they're all actors I am the least familiar again with Ozoma.
Yeah.
But oh boy, this is a rough one. I'm so sorry that
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, it's going to be a major blowout. Best audio design. We have Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, and Returnal.
Yeah. So this is not soundtrack, just to be clear. This is
Yeah.
audio
It's audio
design.
design.
This is how the sound the audio from the game makes you feel or impacts your experience, that kind of thing.
I think it's going to be Forza.
Yeah.
I voted for Forza, so I also think it's going to be Forza.
I don't think Resident Evil was strong enough, despite being a horror game. I think it could have been way stronger than it was.
It
And
could have
I
been Resident
don't-
Evil 7 levels, and it wasn't
Exactly.
Resident Evil 7 levels.
And I don't remember Returnal standing out to me from an audio design standpoint.
It was pretty good. I think out of anyone, it has the closest chance of being the runner up. I think Ratchet
Forza,
and
from the
Clank.
moment we saw it and the moment we
Yeah.
heard, it's like, that's car porn. It sounds great.
Yeah.
It looks
So
great.
Yeah, very good. Each car has its specific actual sound that it makes. Like I drive around in the Brian O'Connor special in his Skyline. All right, sounds exactly like the fucking Skyline from the goddamn movies. All right. So that's all I need to say. I think they think Forza Horizon 5 wins this one hands down. I think Returnal might be a second place one. Because the sound design in it is actually pretty good. It does have the sound design in Returnal is that of, I think, the level that Resident Evil Village should have been, because it does have a bit of like a kind of like a horror suspense feeling to it, just because of the visual paired with the sound that it has with. Resident Evil Village just kind of like disappointed because it comes after 7, and 7 was so good with its audio. But yeah, no, I think Forza wins this one hands down as well. Now we have best music and best score in music, and the fact, I don't know why 14 never gets put on this list.
It's so cruel. He works so hard. He's a Guinness World Book of Records record, guys.
He composed while in his hospital bed in with cancer.
To the Edge might have been one of the best songs of just the last. Fine. He's not here. Fine, but we don't enjoy this.
Yeah, no. Artful Escape, Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Near Replicant version 1.2224.
I'm so sorry, Artful Escape. I didn't know you existed.
Yeah, so I don't like when games are put on these kinds of categories when they just have licensed music from the.
Yes.
But that's
My biggest worry is my expectation anyway is that Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is going to win this, because people are going to hear this very familiar music that they've grown up with and go, hell yes, I want to shoot things to this music.
So,
because if it weren't for that, my money would be on Nier.
So Guardians of the Galaxy does have, while it does have a lot of licensed music in it, they did make their own music for the game. Honestly, actually, the first thing you listen to in the game is a band that was created just for Guardians of the Galaxy, which is called Star-Lord, and you actually get to listen to its full album in that first section. Like you can actually it has like 15 songs or whatever, and you can it has the old school fucking like things where it has like the songs and the lyrics on it or whatever. You can actually sit there and listen to it all. I do think that Guardians of the Galaxy probably will win this just because it has a bunch of licensed music and it uses a bunch of music like that for it. I do think that's unfair, and I think it should go to Nier because Nier's OST is godly.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But I will say that even without the licensed music, the Guardians of the Galaxy OST is actually pretty good. But I do agree that Nier should take this, and I do think it's a bit unfair to have Guardians of the Galaxy in it. As for Cyberpunk, fuck that game. I've never.
Well, to be fair, this is one thing that they didn't screw up on.
Yeah,
The
true.
music in the game was
Music and
fine.
pretty
It didn't
good.
glitch out or anything. It's just
Yeah.
not beating Nier or Marvel.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Deathloop when it comes to music and Artful Escape. I have no idea.
The only music I know from Deathloop is that really weird black exploitation type of music they had playing during the adverts. I was into it. I mean, I just don't think it's winning any awards, but I was kind of into that.
No. But yeah, I think it does come down to Guardians of the Galaxy and Nier. And I'm hoping for Nier. But won't be surprised if it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Best art direction! Artful Escape, Deathloop, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
I feel really bad for the Artful Escape because I feel like this is where it was going to do really well.
Yeah. I need to look up Artful Escape. I need to see what this game's actually really about. Because it's been in like four categories already. So it obviously did something good. That being said, I honestly think Kenna Bridge of Spirits wins this one. While I love Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart's art direction, Kenna looks absolutely amazing. And I couldn't pick from both of them. I think the graphics in Ratchet and Clank look super good, but I think that's more on their ability to develop for the technology than it is for the art direction.
I kind of hope Psychonauts actually that gets one, because there's another one that's been in a few of them, and it is unique and very vivid, and you know exactly what that game is from any screenshot. That's what art direction
I can see that.
for me, really. And I know Kenna looks really pretty, but it also looks like a animated movie.
It's a Pixar. It's using the Pixar tricks. Yeah.
And Deathloop has really snazzy design as well.
Yeah, if the game is actually like the adverts, my preference would have been Deathloop this one time, but I don't think it is. I think that they were just using like nostalgic 70s style 70s style like advertising, and maybe also in the 2D cutscenes, but the one I'm most comfortable giving on this one is probably Psychonauts. I just wonder if maybe it's going to go unappreciated.
I think it possibly will, but again, that might be what we talked about earlier. I think it was just the fact that Psychonauts may have just taken too long to come out.
I definitely agree on that this time. I hope we're wrong, because like this has a very unique style and it's on purpose. It's not just like bad animation or anything. Like they're lumpy for a reason.
Yeah. No, I agree.
If I wasn't going to give it up to Psychonauts, I'd probably say Kenna. But I want Psychonauts to take this one because I think it's the most inspired.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Best narrative. We have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2. This one's actually tough, because you have two games that are basically narrative, like super narrative driven games, which is It Takes Two and Life is Strange. All right. You have a game. You also have a game that is a superhero game that is written actually extremely well from what I've gathered. Like the storyline in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is probably I mean it's a Guardians of the Galaxy story, so those are always like really good. I don't know much, like you two would have to like attest to Psychonauts. I know nothing about its story.
I like Psychonauts. It's a cute story. I absolutely think It Takes Two wins this hands down.
Yeah,
I haven't touched two, so I can't comment on two. But the original, yes.
Yeah, the original was really nice. Even just the side stuff. I
think
don't know, man. It Takes Two is really good.
yeah,
It
it takes two
takes
super
two's
good.
dialogue as well. Like I think I
Yeah.
mentioned that earlier, didn't I? Fucking hell.
uh yeah, no, all of the scenes I've seen in it takes two, because if I'm watching It Takes Two, it's normally paired with Connor and Iron Mouse playing it, and they're just
Oh,
Yeah, they're
fucking
yeah.
practically
hilarious
married.
together.
It's fine.
Yeah. They're it's too good. I want to give it to It Takes Two. I think it kind of wins this one. I can see either Life is Strange or Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy getting it, but I think It Takes Two is like kind of on another level. Second to last one, best game direction. We have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Okay, so creative vision and innovation, I will say Takes Two or Returnal. Or maybe Ratchet and Clank 2, because you were impressed by the gameplay, right?
So I would have argued Returnal. Um,
I think it's
that
Returnal for me,
Yeah.
just because of the concept.
hmm
the
Yeah,
concept is it's just a roguelite. I mean,
it's a
it's
roguelike, yeah. But I will say it takes two. I mentioned this earlier as well. Like the puzzles that
mhm,
two people have to complete together, like and actually try to work out together. That's hard to design.
yeah.
To make it, actually it give you some clarity on how to do it. Like people will argue and get confused, and that confuses like trying to work out a puzzle in itself. And like the way that the mechanics work in, like I will say again, the time one that was really, really, really well done. You have to speed up and slow down time
Yeah.
to get across a big gap. And during this, there's an explosion that was happening that would destroy certain parts of the puzzle depending where you were in time as well. So
Hmm.
you had to work that out. That was amazing.
And It Takes Two, I fully believe that it has what it needs to win this one. I honestly, like, I think I voted for Ratchet and Clank, but the reason why is because one, I've played Ratchet and Clank, so I know that one front to back. I haven't played It Takes Two, so I don't know that one fully. But the only reason why I really voted for Ratchet and Clank is because when I think about game direction, there are two specific spots in Ratchet and Clank that kind of just fucking blew my mind. And that was right in the beginning of the game, there's a set piece where you're grinding on rails and you're being forced through different sections of the game by having to go through the portals or whatever. And it's not that you're seeing like pre-rendered like you're going through the portals. No, you're actually in that section of the game. Like it's already like loaded up and in the system that you're actually going through like those parts of the world.
Yeah.
I'm sure if like, if you were able to like fucking glitch yourself during that section or whatever, you would be able to
Mm-hmm.
run around in that section of the world like way before
Oh yeah.
you got to there. So there's that part. And there's a part in one of the worlds towards the end of the game where you smack like a warp stick or something. I forget what it's called. It's like this big purple orb or whatever. And it literally changes the dimension that you're in. So you go from a dimension where this area is completely ruined to the dimension of this area being before it got completely ruined. And it's just instant. There's no loading. It's just, you smack it, you're there. Now, that's more. I guess that's more on like along on the technological base of it. But it also adds another layer to the gameplay as well. So I mean, I don't know. I firmly believe that I think It Takes Two takes it just because of how that game is like completely designed to work with two people. That's more. I guess that's more on like along on the technological base of it. But it also adds another layer to the. I would have to sit down and play It Takes Two. Yeah. Returnal I liked, but I don't think it was doing doing enough innovation on it. I think
I think an FPS roguelike with bullet hell sections is pretty actually fairly innovative to the genre.
I guess, but I think it's really only backed up the technology that's behind it. I mean, that's kind of the same thing.
I mean,
would say
yeah,
with
I
Ratchet and Clank.
agree, and I think that's where the innovation comes in.
Yeah, I don't know. It's rough. I wasn't too impressed with Returnal too much.
That's fair.
But I could see Returnal taking it. But if it had to come down to two games, it would either be It Takes Two or Ratchet and Clank. And then when this happens next month, Psychonauts 2 is gonna randomly fucking take it from everybody. So, Game of the Year: Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. I don't think Resident Evil Village needs to be on here.
Yeah. I know it's been on this list a lot, but Deathloop is just a strange shout for Game of the Year. Resident Evil is not Game of the Year, which is a shame. I don't think Psychonauts 2 is going to be Game of the Year.
No, it won't.
I think it's too niche.
I don't think Metroid will be either.
I think it's also too niche.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. And as much as I've praised it, I don't think It Takes Two is going to get Game of the Year. Though I would think that this is going to do very, very well with the critics on the jury. So actually, I'm going to hold on that thought and come back to it. So for me, this is a toss-up between It Takes Two and Ratchet. My gut instinct is to say it's going to be Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, it comes down to what me and Evan and what Evan's friend said or whatever. Ratchet and Clank games have always been good. They have always had nothing completely too wrong with them. Some of them had bad FPS issues, or some of them have had I guess some gameplay issues with them. But they've always been decent, at least, or whatever. This is the first Ratchet and Clank game that I would say this is hands down a Game of the Year game. Yeah, that's. I mean, I've said that in the video that I made. I'm a kind of a Ratchet and Clank simp, at least for Rift Apart. I think this hands down beats pretty much everything else on this list.
I played 3 games in the series. I think they're all great. And if Ratchet and Clank is so far above the other ones that I've played, that's very impressive.
Well, Dalit, you have a PlayStation 5.
And I plan on picking it up.
So, who knows? Maybe I'll gift it to you one day.
I wouldn't worry about that. There's a lot of things I plan on picking it up, but Ratchet and Clank is one of those games I feel like I'm going to feel nostalgic playing, so it's probably going to be sooner rather than later. Probably sometime early on next year. It Takes Two, God, to be super unfair and just think purely from how the Game Awards works. So this, not only have I already said it should take a couple of these awards handily, I also think other people in the jury are going to take that and take that approach, and I feel like this kind of game appeals more towards the critics, the types of people who are selected for jury, than just Ratchet and Clank. And I feel like they're going to be more inclined to give it to the more art-inspired game. But that's being unfair to It Takes Two, which is a great game and deserves it regardless.
Yeah.
My gut instinct is just Ratchet and Clank. It's been Game of the Year since it came out. There's not been a doubt in my mind, and it's held on to it all year long. So,
yeah, I know.
The shine has had time to fall off, and it just hasn't.
I was just thinking in my head, the only way I think Ratchet and Clank would have lost Game of the Year was maybe if Forbidden West or God of War Ragnarok came out this year. But they didn't. So
but they didn't.
I don't see any of It Takes Two is probably the only other game that I think that should maybe take this from Ratchet and Clank. I'm cynical to think Deathloop might take it just because of how many places it's been on this list.
Yeah, it has turned up a lot. So it's Psychonauts, both of which surprised me considerably.
But I just don't see, like, Ratchet and Clank is clearly, hands down. Actually, Ratchet and Clank's the only next gen video game on this list. Everything else has been cross gen. None of these games have been like on like, and that actually might be to its like downfall, is because it's only for PlayStation 5. And so not as many people get a hold of it.
Again, I think in terms of sales, that's fair. In terms of like a Game of the Year award type of thing, because remember, our votes only account for a minority. I forget how much it is. It's not that much in the grand scheme of things. It's not 50-50 between us and the jury.
Nominations for the Game Awards are reflected by a voting jury of 103 leading media and influencer outlets across the globe. Facts and rules.
Anyway, I would like to stir the pot and say seeing Deathloop in over Forza was weird to me. Seeing Deathloop in over Returnal was weird to me.
Yeah. I don't understand why that. I mean, I
Seeing
understand
Psychonaut in there as well was also weird, but I mean, my own nostalgic bias doesn't mind that nearly as much.
It's so weird because
I'd like to have seen
everybody.
Tales of Arise, but I know that's niche as fuck.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised Tales of Arise wasn't on there. I at least would have thought it would have gotten a spot on there. I don't think it would have won, but I think it would have gotten the spot. My only thing is that, like, I'm cynical to think that Deathloop might take it, only on the fact that literally everybody that I've heard play that game has never said anything bad about it. And it did, for like the 2 weeks that it first came out, there were a lot of people playing it and there were a lot of people praising it. But after that, I think it kind of just fell off. To this day, I'm still seeing Ratchet and Clank stuff. So I'm not 100% sure. Winners are determined by a blend vote between voting jury 90% and the public fan vote is 10%. It's actually 90-10.
Oh, wow. It's not even as fair as I thought it was. It's even less. So yeah, like, remember that our votes can push someone over, and if like there's been split decision amongst the jury, but we count for so little.
Yeah. But that's the Game Awards, people. Obviously, it'll be live December 9th. I unfortunately have to work that day because I am taking off a couple of days before that because we have Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker coming out on December 3rd. So I will most likely be working that day, unfortunately. But does it say when it's, like, what the time is? It doesn't say the time. Because I might be able to. Who cares? But yeah. What are we all doing this week?
Probably more Minecraft. Definitely 14 because I played for the sub now.
Minecraft and 14. I've been seeing you playing a lot of Minecraft.
Why not? It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
I will be playing either more Nocturne or more realistically the Ruined King, because that was dropped on us, and I've been complaining, or not complaining. I've been saying how much I enjoyed Battle Chasers and I like the art design, and that all of that is true, and so I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, I think I'm actually about to drop the money to pay for it, to buy it pretty soon here. Yeah, so I'm probably going to try out Ruined King because that looks really good. I'm definitely, obviously, still playing Yakuza Like a Dragon because why wouldn't I? I literally spent like 30 minutes talking about how good that game is. I still need to get my Astro to 80, which will happen pretty soon. I'm at 78 right now, so I get like 2 or 3 more days of dailies, and it'll be up there. And what other games? I mean, okay, so maybe one of these days I'll download the Halo Infinite multiplayer, because the beta's out now, which rolls into the multiplayer just being out. I've heard good things about how the multiplayer plays. I've heard bad things that the battle pass is pretty shit.
Yeah, so I agree from what I've heard. I also found out something interesting today.
Mm-hmm.
All of your challenges can be done against bots.
Oh.
So it may
That's
not actually be as
hilarious.
shit as you think if you're willing just to be lame for a little bit. But yeah, no, obviously, if there is a free part of it, there's a paid part of it, and that's probably where the real incentive is. And I've not heard very, very many good things about that. I hear the game itself is amazing, and I need to download it.
Yeah. I will most likely be downloading that sometime this week as well. I know I have a few friends that want to play it. Other than that, I don't think I'm playing any other games. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing any other games. I might load up Stories 2 again, because I've been playing that slowly. And every time somebody says Stories 2, I kind of want to play it. But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to be playing this week.
Hey, we'll see.
Yep.
Can't wait to find out what you actually played next Monday.
Ba-ba-ba.
Me and you are just going to sit here and talk about Ruin King for 30 minutes. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking great. But yeah, if you've made it to the end of this podcast, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe, please. It really helps us out. I know somebody asked us what an algorithm was in our comments. That was D. D obviously knows what an algorithm is. But he was just joking. Yeah, it really helps us with the algorithm. Helps us get more what is it, viewership and exposure. That's what we need.
Yep.
Share us, people.
Thanks for watching so far. Tell us your choices in the comments down below.
Yep. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Be good now.
Bye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.